Hi, I'm Nezvers and I do stuff. In my previous video I mentioned that I started learning Defold, and as the first thing I want to make is my own physics system that doesn't utilize any collision shapes for collision on tiles. Using all my spare time, as little it is, I'm getting closer to my goal, so here's where I'm now. As you can see, my collision system works as I've intended. I managed to put a little jump buffer for player losing ground below its feet, wall slide and wall jump. I made it so it's impossible to latch to the same wall twice, but I think it's easy to customize whole code and behavior once someone with a bit of knowledge goes through my code. So I'll go from top to down explaining my project. In the main collection there's level collection and camera, which in the real situation probably would be in the levels collection. The level collection consists of player and level background tile map that actually is made of two layers, and one of them is used to read information for collision. For tileset I'm using my tileset template plus the first row of tiles I'm using inside collision layer, since its identifier is conveniently starting from number 1. Player script is kept as minimal and simple as possible. Since I've read that pre-hashing is a good practice, I did that for input buttons. In init function I'm initializing physics, and that's going to change a bit when I get closer to finish line, and setting hitbox size, which actually is 8 points around the sprite to detect collision. The update function is simply calling physics update, and that's it. Also, the input function is executing my system's input functions. Since I want to give this to the community, I try to comment most of the code logic, but my code has grown pretty large. And if someone from Defold team is watching, please, for the love of God, give us code folding. My approach is quite model, because that enables options to work for a specific part of the physics and easily create variations like platformer and top-down physics. Here I'm defining the identifiers, and hopefully I've put them in the code. So it makes possible to have collision tile map layer without adding new proprietary tiles. This is the heart of the slope collision, and basically there's an option to add more different shaped tiles for the platformer ground. They won't work in a top-down scenario. But basically all this function does is returning y coordinates of 1 pixel above the tile shape. I've also included few helper functions that are popular within GameMaker users, and I didn't find them in Defold arsenal. I'm creating these functions so it's easy to put together Lego-like main physics update function and have fun with it. I hope that this video is interesting at least to someone, and if so, feel free to ask me a question. See you later, cheers!